you know if your portfolio can withstand a major market downturn? And how do you avoid taking a serious hit? Joining us now for a retirement coffee talk are George Fossing and Zach Jenkins. They are part of the team at Northstar Financial Retirement Planning, a local area firm that focuses on preparing people for a successful retirement. George and Zach are also popular radio show hosts. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, this is probably the million-dollar question, but how do we know if we are taking on too much market risk right now?
Okay, so if you're married, probably a conversation that's not too pleasant.
Yeah.
Hey, honey.
Honey, real quick.
Statements come out here in a couple of weeks. You can look down and go, holy cow. Most people are online now. They can see right away out there. The big thing is if you're not sleeping at night, things are keeping you up, you're concerned, you're worried. Emotions start sneaking in. Emotions are very dangerous.
Yeah.
Like we said, they're temporary, but they can be very effective. They can make you
the
make
second
poor
I see something
decisions.
go down, I'm like, abort, abort.
You've ever heard, don't be emotional?
Yeah.
It, applies towards your finances. You have to be very cautious with that. It doesn't mean you don't do anything.
Right.
Okay? It just doesn't mean be...
Usually your initial reaction is not the right one.
Yes, my initial reaction would be like, call you, like, is this serious? But for people that have seen, all right, now it's like month 3, it's month 4, things are going down. When do they need to act?
Yeah, we call it stop the bleeding.
Okay.
Basically put brakes on that and mitigate the downside because no one said we're done yet.
Right.
Right.
Oh, right.
Like the market's down 20, but 2008 was down 50. We don't control. No one knows. Thing is, okay. At some point, though, emotions will kick in, and most people will make a dramatic move, which is getting out. Might be down 40%. Right now, recovery still, could turn around. We don't know, but there's solutions out there. There's instruments we utilize that really put the brakes on no more losses. I mean, that's it. And when things start coming back up, if it come back, you're going to capture a fair portion. You might not get all of it. So the market's come up 20%. You might get 15, but as of today, you're not going to lose any more. That's a very good compromise.
Yes, yes. Because if you're not, like, let's say you're not doing anything, you're like, I'm just going to ride this all the way out. Kind of paint a picture of what that would look like.
Yeah, part of that too, Megan, is going out there, well, I'm in this deep, I'll just have to ride it out. And again, I have a problem with that too. I get it. I mean, we're in the business, of course, but if you don't need the money, maybe you can, but what if you do? What if there's a healthcare need in retirement, you have to pull money out, or there's an emergency with one of the kids, and you have to sell when your account value is down 40, 50%, you just locked in a loss.
A lot of times people don't think that there's another option.
Yeah.
Right. They may just not be aware of everything that's out there. And that's not their job. That's our job to educate them, when they say, hey, I want to learn about that. But, I think about people having to sit on the sidelines. You're in your first few years of retirement. And those are the years you're younger, you're healthier, you can go. There's things you want to do with kids and grandkids. And having to say, hey, I've got to wait until the market comes back to be able to do that. Yeah, and I just think about that and taking that completely off the table and using the different instruments that are out there so that you don't have to wait for markets to come back.
We know the longest bull market run in history is over. What if you're a do-it-yourselfer? What could go wrong at this venture?
We have a lot of people come in that were do-it-yourselfers, and they did a great job. They may just say, hey, I don't want to do that anymore. I've kind of graduated from that. I don't want to have to do it.
Yeah, you're right. It's stressful, and also people getting older too say, I think I'm done playing this game. We tell people too. I said, listen, you can use our services. You don't have to turn over all your accounts. You might say, hey, I want some of my money protected. You talk about this on TV about the downside protection. I'm interested in that. Yeah. Right. We could share that with you. You still done a lot of, like I said, a lot of people coming in done really well. They're good investors, but there's a price to pay when things go down like this. Like I said, I think a couple weeks ago, somebody came in, they were down 50%.
Wow.
Okay, that's turning in half in less than a year, losing half of it. That's dramatic. They've done very good on the upside, don't get me wrong, but giving it right back. So you get 100% of gains, and 50% goes down, you just gave everything out, back. You're back to square one. And think about that. Getting older, and it's like, it becomes ill.
Yeah.
And again, remember we talked about too, put a dollar sign on that. Somebody's got $1 million, and now it's down to $500,000 in 1 year. Even more importantly, if you have $300,000, watching it go down 150, you're going out there, man. That 150 is super important to your retirement. Can you afford to have this continue to go down?
No.
Again, we're not scaring people. We just don't know. No one knows. The guy down the street doesn't know. Everybody wears nice suits and does their stuff and talks smart and use big words, but they don't know.
Right.
So you really have to be proactive in this and use the financial instruments that are out there and go out there and say, listen, put the brakes on the losses. No more. Put an end to it.
Well, especially with like the market And then, you know, inflation, the state of the economy. I mean, anyone that is nearing retirement right now, what do they need to be aware of?
You need to have an assessment. That's the big thing. You know, we're out here marketing ourselves a little bit on this program, of course, but we really want the word to get out to people and say, listen, you know, we're good people. We don't bite. We're not going to force you into anything. We get our name out there. If we can help you, let us help you.
Right.
If you want to work with us, great, obviously, but you're not committed to do that. Somebody comes in there. If you're worried and you watch this program, I'm worried. Well, give us a call. And you know, there's no cost for the assessment. We'll run the numbers, take a look, give you some ideas and thoughts, show you what we do.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
People like what we do. We do retirement planning. You know, we make sure people don't get hurt in retirement. One is finances, right?
Right.
And you know, we don't accept this 50% down thing. I mean, or 40% or 30% down. That's unacceptable in our world. You know, markets go up, they go down, but at some point, you know, you're staying up at night and you're worried. And so what's going to happen tomorrow? They say we're talking about a recession now. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything to you besides if the market continues to go down, you're watching your account values go down. That's just not good.
No.
That's not good. You know, the money should be, you should be the master of your money, not the money being the master of you.
Right, and that's what helps you sleep.
That's exactly right.
And enjoy it. George, Zach, thank you.
Thanks,
good
Megan.
conversation. Listen, if you're at home right now, if you're currently retired, or maybe you're getting close to that retirement age and would like to learn more about how to help protect and grow your hard-earned savings and investments, Northstar Financial has a great offer for you right now. This is for the first 5 callers who have saved $500,000 or more. They're offering a complimentary, no obligation retirement and investment report. The report will include potential tax saving opportunities and ways to reduce the effects of market volatility on your portfolio. Their team will schedule a phone call, video call, or future in-office meeting so they can speak with you personally and provide you that roadmap going forward. Call the number you see on your screen, 864-309-8146.